Welcome to Two Chicks and a Horror Flick, a weekly horror movie review podcast. I'm Tawny Ray.
And I'm Felicia Connor. Subscribe to get new episodes every Wednesday. We dive into trivia, drink a little whiskey, and of course, give our no BS opinions.
Join our Discord server or message us on social media to talk all things scary.
And if you like the show, consider supporting us on Patreon.
You can find all these links on our website, twochicksandahorrorflick.com. Thanks for listening.
Now let's get scared. All right, hello everybody. We've missed you. We had a week off because of Thanksgiving, and then a week off because I got COVID, and now we are back. We are so excited to be talking with you today about The Menu, brand new movie 2022, just released I think last week, right?
Oh, was it last week? I thought it was earlier than that.
Maybe it was earlier than that, but it was very recent. Really. Oh, you're right. I don't think I went on opening weekend. You're right.
Yeah.
No, I think I did. No, I didn't.
Did you?
I have no idea. It's very new, though. But before we do that, Tawny, what are you drinking?
I've got some Crown Royal mixed with some orange Olipop today.
Nice.
Yeah. What are you drinking?
Yummy. I am drinking La Marca, I believe it is. Prosecco. So I'm drinking Prosecco and orange juice. I love this drink.
Gotta love those mimosas.
I even drink it at night.
Yeah.
Orange juice, vitamin C. It's good.
Yeah, understandable.
Healthy.
Fresh.
Yes. All right. So what have you been watching, doing, reading, listening to?
Yeah. I mostly have gotten obsessed with the band Bad Omens thanks to TikTok. I posted about this in our Discord server, and I posted about it on TikTok, and I'm not alone, okay? There is a gigantic group of us that came across this band because one of their songs, like, I think went just viral on TikTok. Like, people were using it as a transition sound. And can I just tell you, I already talked about this, but I cannot stop listening to it. And their most recent album, I've listened to like a couple songs from previous albums, but it is amazing, dude. And I'm not a music person. I don't actually listen to music that often. And the music that I do listen to, it's like the shit that I liked in high school. So like I've just glommed onto like the music that I like, and I just listen to that over and over again. So I don't really seek out new music, and I tend to have I tend to like have a hard time attaching to new music. Like, people will send me stuff and I'll listen to it and just be like, yeah. You know, I have to kind of hear things over and over again for them to stick. And so TikTok, even aside from Bad Omens, has given me like a different way of like coming across music, because I have to like listen to the sounds that are trending over and over again. And it helps me like it, if that makes sense. Yeah. So anyway, it's not just, I mean, it is Bad Omens in the way that like that band now I'm totally obsessed with. And I love this new album. And I was like, I mean, I can't stop listening to it. And so it's given me like a full-blown second like metalcore experience now in my 30s, because when I was a teenager, I don't know if we've ever talked about this, but I was definitely like, if you would ask me at the time, I wouldn't say this, but I think I was a scene kid. I'm going to put air quotes over that, because at the time I would have been like, no, I'm not a scene kid. But I wasn't an emo kid either. I was like somewhere in between. But I listened to like a bunch of screamo music. That was like my music of choice. And then I kind of like, you know, got a little older, stopped listening to that as much. But I'm like back in it right now. And I'm like, how, like, I had stepped away from this. And now I'm like just having an incredible experience where I'm like rediscovering bands. Like Bring Me the Horizon was a band that I listened to way back when. And I just didn't, I'm like, they've been out here doing shit in the meantime that I just didn't even know. Totally different shit. I'm sweating, like, talking about this.
I love it.
I'm so excited. It's so weird, though, to have that experience where you're like, holy shit, this is great. So I, like, listened to all their whole album. I came across another, like, playlist on TikTok that somebody was like, if you like Bad Omens, you're going to love this playlist. And I went and found it, downloaded it, have been listening to it nonstop. So it has, like, a sampling of other bands that now I'm like, oh, I'm fucking just having a whole thing. And I don't know what it is about Novembers. I'm on a roll. I'm just telling you everything about my life right now. I don't know what it is about Novembers, but they seem to be, for this year and last year, the year that I suddenly become obsessed with a thing that I've never even, like, I haven't been obsessed with previously. Last year, it was romance books.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
This year, it's fucking, I guess, metalcore music and Bad Omens. So anyway, Bad Omens, if you somehow have been living under a rock, which also just means that you're not on TikTok, which is fine, you should go listen to them, because I think that there's like this new album. It's called The Death of Peace of Mind, and it's really diverse. Like, they've got some heavier stuff on there, but they've got some stuff that feels kind of like The Weeknd, which I really love.
Ooh, me too.
And they also, like, there's like one song that really feels like a Billie Eilish song. Like, it's weird and great, and I fucking love it, and you should check it out. And so anyway, I was like, I'm obsessed. I want to see these people live, but I missed it by like days. Like, they were on the West Coast like in November, and I just totally missed it. Didn't get like up to speed on this band in time. But tonight they're playing, and tomorrow they're playing in New York City. This is going to air too late for anybody to know or care about it. So I don't know why I'm telling you this, but I bought digital tickets so that I can watch the performance live, like a live stream.
Oh, cool. I thought, are you telling us you're flying out to New York to watch this thing after recording today?
Much cheaper, like $15-$16 for like a live stream ticket. And you don't get like a recording of it or anything. But I was like, fuck yeah, I'm going to do that. So that's what I'm doing tonight. That's why we're recording a little earlier than what we normally do. And I'm fucking pumped. That's mostly what I've been doing, is being 16 again, learning everything I can about this band, which I don't know if that's what everybody else's experience is, but that's mine. And I'm excited about it.
Don't you love it when you find something, a show, music, whatever it is, that gets you so excited that it makes you feel like you snorted a bunch of Coke before you started talking about it?
Yes. That is exactly what I'm feeling. Yes, exactly. And then I posted a video on TikTok talking about it, right? I said all these like same things basically. And I have like 70 fucking comments on that video. Like, people fucking came out of the woodwork, dude. And I'm telling you, I'm not the only one having this experience. Everybody's like, oh my God, yes, this happened this summer. I'm in my 30s. I love Bad Omens. Like, and I asked for recs. Like, I was like, anything in this vein, send me new bands, other bands for me to check out. And people, I don't even know when I'm going to be done checking out this list of bands. It's insane. Like,
that is awesome, Tawny.
Yeah, it was fun. It was great. And I made some new TikTok friends. So
I'm going to check this out. I'm going to check out this music. I might have heard it because the kids are on TikTok, and even TT, she's singing songs all the time. Like, what is that? Or we'll be in the car and she'll be like, oh my God, I love this song, and turn it up. I'm like, I've never even heard this before. Yeah. So she might even know what you're talking about. I might have heard it, but I just don't know. Like, I don't place the name with what it is. So I'm going to check it out. I want to see.
Yeah. Oh, it's incredible. I'll even send you like a couple songs.
Yeah. Please do.
I think you're going to like it. I want to say that you're going to like it. Somebody else in the comments recommended Muse to me when I asked for recs.
Oh, you know that I love Muse.
I know, yeah. I even said that. I was
going to get a tattoo on me.
Yeah.
I might.
You still should, yeah.
I see people like with those Rolling Stone mouths, and I'm like, oh my God, I like the Rolling Stones, but Jesus, I get a tattoo of it. Oh no. Yeah. I'm sure I'm going to get Muse. I think I might.
Think you could do.
To me, it's like a religion.
Yeah, I think you could do like I don't know. I feel like I don't know if I would ever do that. Not to say anything bad. Like, however you want to do it is fine.
I already have 13 tattoos, so getting Muse is like that.
Yeah, but I don't know if I do like the band logo. You know what I mean?
Well, I was thinking about it.
Oh, okay. Again, no shame to that. For me personally, I don't think I'd go that like on the nose. Like, I love Green Day. They've been my favorite band forever. I think Bad Omens might have topped them in this moment, but I would never get like a Green Day, like the name Green Day tattooed on me. But like, I have thought about getting a Green Day tattoo, like of a lyric, or like, there's one in particular that's written it, like it has a little illustration in the booklet, the CD booklet when that was a thing. I've thought about getting that as a tattoo. So.
Oh, I'm telling you, look. I love music. I'm a big music lover. And like with Cypress Hill, I was like, oh, maybe I'll get a Cypress Hill tattoo when I was younger, or maybe this, or maybe that. And it was always like, no, I don't want to. I've never wanted to get a tattoo that like the band name or logo or anything.
Yeah.
With Muse, I'm telling you, it just resonates with my soul on a different level. And
Yeah.
the Muse with the 2 lines, and I saw someone with it on their neck. I have something on my neck, so I'm not going to do that. But I'm just saying, I saw it and I was like, I love them. It's like really love.
Yeah.
And I was like, I want that. Am I going to get it? I have no idea. There's other things I want to get before that. So, but.
Yeah. Anyway,
anyway.
Shut up about that for a minute and I'll let you talk about anything that's new with you. And then I have a couple things that I watched, but I figured I would just pass it over to you for a minute.
I don't have anything that exciting. Just the things that I've watched. I've been really binging away. So we are going to be on a episode of Horror Movie Crew, along with a podcast on Elm Street, and Erica with Horror Cafe podcast. And we're going to be looking at we're going to be ranking into all these different categories, the top 2022 horror movies. So it's called the Stabby Awards. Can't wait. So, and then Tawny, if you haven't listened to it yet, go check it out. Tawny, I'll let you talk about what you just did when I was sick with COVID.
Yeah, I don't know when it will be out.
Okay.
But yeah, so I did an episode with We Love Horror, Michael from the We Love Horror podcast, and also Killing Time, Aubrey from the Killing Time podcast. I had never met him before, so that was really fun. And we did our top 10 movies from 2022. And what I realized talking to them is that I have not seen a ton of movies. So now I'm trying to catch up on some that they loved and talked about very highly so that I can know more about them. Because as we were talking about them, it was really funny. We had seen kind of different movies. Like the lists were kind of diverse. And so we would talk about a movie and I would be like, wait, don't spoil that for me. You know, like I don't want to have, because I hate having movies spoiled for me if I can avoid it at all, at any level. So I was like, wait, let's not talk about that in depth. But it was like a toss up. Like if we had all seen the movie, we definitely spoiled it for a listener, you know, like, but if one of us hadn't seen it, we tried not to spoil it. So it was kind of an interesting back and forth. But anyway, I took away like a new list of 2022 movies that I hadn't seen that now I really don't want ruined. And so I'm trying to get those in before the Stabbies. But that was a super fun episode. Definitely check that out when it's live. We'll post it on our social media.
For sure.
It was a really fun time to just talk about, you know, different people's experience of 2022 movies. And we kept talking about just how many there were. So I feel like it's not crazy that we ended up with kind of different lists, because it's like you can't fucking watch them all. You know, it's really hard to get them all in if you're, you know, if you have other shit going on. So
100%. And I'm a procrastinator. So there's no minute like the last minute for me. So I've been like cranking them through these past few days to try to get some in. So what I've watched is Pearl, They, Them, Piggy, Ivana, Fresh, Black Phone so far is what I've watched. And I don't know. Well, you know what? I won't say anything about them except if I liked them or not. Pearl was meh. They, Them was no.
No.
Piggy, yes, I liked that. Ivana, I do have a little bit left of that one. So I'm not going to say anything yet because it depends. Fresh, liked it.
Yeah.
Liked Fresh. Black Phone, the idea is terrifying.
Yeah.
But I don't know that they made it so terrifying.
Yeah.
So I didn't dislike it, but it was a weird experience because I was so scared that it was going to be too terrifying of what happens.
Yes. Yeah.
And they didn't do that. So a part of me was happy, but then another part of me was like, is maybe a dark Disney horror movie? Just kidding. Not Disney. That is like insane. But
no, I totally get what you're saying.
Okay, cool.
100%. Yes. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Okay, so that's how I felt about those. And then the last two things. Wednesday, oh my gosh, I love her. Oh my gosh, I love her. I actually should nominate her for something in the Stabbies because I love her character. And I keep saying her because I forget her name.
Jenna Ortega.
Jenna Ortega. Love. Like, I'm like, she is delightful. I just love this. Very fun. Watching it with all the kids, so I can't binge it because all the kids have to be around. But we're all watching that together. And last but not least, for your true crime fans, Netflix has a new true crime. It's called The Texas Killing Fields. And I watched all of that. And don't worry, I won't give anything away. I really liked it. I'm so impressed with Netflix and their true crime and what they do. Hold on. It was Netflix, right? Yes. Sorry. I said that because I also watched the Casey.
Oh, yeah. The one on Peacock.
Anthony. Casey Anthony and Peacock. And I mean, that was fine. It's definitely, I tell you, because I almost stopped it in the beginning, definitely take it through to the end. Because you might find yourself really questioning what you thought in the beginning. So that was good, but no one does it like Netflix, in my opinion, so far. And The Texas Killing Fields, it was one of those things where I was like, oh, this is just going to be totally cold case. And then things start happening and unraveling. It's just the way they start. They make you feel like you don't know. And then these things, or then they make you feel like you know, but then something else unravels. Yeah.
Oh, I like that.
That was a good one, The Texas Killing Field. But that's really it. I've just been binging the hell out of movies and stuff like that.
Same, dude. Yeah.
What else do you got? No, that's all I've got. What else do you got?
I was going to say, to kind of follow up what you were saying, I also have watched, just in the last couple weeks, or I guess just in the last week, since we recorded with We Love Horror and Killing Time, I watched Significant Other, which I also will say I liked.
Okay.
But yeah, so I'll just give quick reviews. I watched The Black Phone, which I thought was all right, but I agree completely. It was kind of, the story became about something different, kind of. It was good. I feel like it was a good movie, but I ultimately, I feel like it's going to be kind of forgettable. I'm not going to think back on that movie really for anything. So it wasn't bad. It was a fine movie. I just, it wasn't my fave.
It could have been fucking terrifying.
Yeah, and I feel like there were moments where you were like, oh God, but it was they were afraid to go there, or push it further or do it more often. And so I do feel like it kind of suffered.
I felt the same about They Them.
Oh, I see. Listen, I tried to start They Them literally 3 times. I'm only halfway through the movie and I can't finish it. It's just so boring, dude. I can't. It is
fluffy, right? It's almost like they were too scared to really push the limits on anything. Because I thought because you saw the beginning, and I won't say anything, but the whole beginning sequence, I had cold chills. I was like, oh shit, this is gonna be spooky. And then it was just what? And then you'll probably be disappointed by the end, Tawny. I'm sorry.
I don't even, I feel no compulsion to keep watching it. I've tried over and over again to start it and I just can't. And so I've given up.
And this concept, again, terrifying concept. And this goes on in general, this camps and whatever. I'm not going to give anything away, but it's that could be a really terrifying concept as well. And it's just,
it felt like we were not going there. I was I feel like this is just a very standard slasher cabin in the woods shit that's happens to be this group of people. It just was what are you trying to accomplish? Okay. Anyway, so I'm just straight up probably never going to finish that. So. And then I watched Fresh, which I also really liked.
Yes.
There's a couple in here that we're going to have to do episodes on later, I think. Yeah.
I do too. Because I would just love to talk about the different layers of that movie and just there's so much I would love to talk about with you about that movie. Yeah,
totally. There was a lot in that one specifically, but
and even maybe Black Phone or something that there's just some things to talk about. That's it. That's what I'm gonna say.
Other things that I watched of note, I also started Wednesday. It's good. I like it. We're not done with it yet. Started The English on Amazon Prime. Really like it. But we've done this thing now where we've hopped from thing to thing. We started The English, liked it, hopped to Wednesday, liked it. Then, though, hopped to F-Boy Island on HBO Max. And let me just tell you and everybody who's listening to this, I fucking hate dating reality TV shows. I can't, you know this. If you've listened to like a handful of our episodes, you probably know that I hate watch Love is Blind. But I've come to a place now where I'm like, I refuse to watch the new season because I just cannot deal with it. I hate it. It's so frustrating. F-Boy Island is peak dating reality TV show. Like, it is amazing. It's so fucking funny. They really like don't take it. Yeah, they really kind of don't take it seriously. And so they lean into like the comedy, and Nikki Glazer is the host. And it's just great. And I've been talking to like so many people about this, and now I feel like everybody in the world knows about this show, and I just fucking missed it. Like, I missed the boat on the show, and here I am. And I just saw a thing the other day that they canceled it after the second season. We have one more episode to go in season 2, and I'm so fucking mad. I want to start a petition. I'm sure somebody started a petition. I'm just going to sign it because I want this show to keep going. It's incredible. So...
Oh shit, incredible. Okay, I've not even ever heard of this. I'm going to have to, what did you say it was on?
HBO Max.
HBO Max, okay.
Let me give you the setup. So. Can I tell you about it?
Oh yeah, you can tell me about
This is going to be a very long intro. Sorry, y'all. Eventually we are going to talk about a movie, but listen. F-Boy Island is about, it's like 3 women go in and they're looking for love, a connection, right? And half the dudes who come in are fuckboys. They're like... Okay. Self-admitted fuckboys, and half the dudes are nice guys, you know, quote unquote nice guys. And
looking for love.
Yes. Yeah. But the guys, whoever is left standing at the end gets $100,000. So there's like a reason for these fuckboys to stay around and lie and pretend like they're nice-ish guys or try to just win over the women. But it is, and it sounds terrible. And at first I was like, oh, this feels very shitty. And it's like they're tricking them. And I was like, I don't know that I like this because it seems to like promote like dishonesty, you know? Mm-hmm. I don't know. This is why I can't deal with dating shows. You can see why I have a problem. But it like turns into this very fun, very funny, it's great. Just definitely watch it.
Okay.
That's my favorite thing that I've been watching. So.
Oh shit, that is quite the, okay, so my middle daughter loves these dating shows, so.
Okay.
I'll watch it with her. She's the one that I watched all the Kardashians with and absolutely love it. And love the family now. Just, I'm a huge Kardashian fan. I finally, in my 40s, I'm a huge Kardashian fan.
Finally, here we are. Yeah, let me know what you think. If you start watching it, because it's so fun. You got to get in a couple of episodes, and then you got to like kind of get used to the humor of it, and then you're like, oh, this is what I'm in for. It's fucking fantastic. Anyway.
Okay.
The last thing I'll say is we did watch the movie 3,000 Years of Longing, and I just need to tell also everybody, save your fucking time. Don't watch this. It was a terrible movie.
Okay.
Bad. Don't do it.
Okay.
It was bad.
Thank you for that.
It was just like a drama. I don't even know what to call it. It was like a drama about a genie, a lady who comes across a genie.
Oh, this one.
Yeah, it's supposed to be. I think it's supposed to be like a romantic movie, but it's not. So just don't even watch it. I mean, I don't know. People fucking loved it. I read the reviews of people, and they were like, "This movie's incredible. It's like one of the best movies." And I was just like, "This is." All of us who watched it, because we watched it with Jade's family over Thanksgiving. All of us were like, "That was fucking terrible, right?" Like, we really pushed through to the end, and we were like, "But that was bad." Right? Everybody hated it.
I appreciate it because, like we said, there's a lot of movies to watch.
Yeah.
So definitely can cut out anything. That would be great. And you guys too, if you've seen stuff we haven't seen, let us know. We post these Patreon pics every single month. I mean, a couple times, things are going on and we might have missed a month, but usually it's every month. And it's you that tells us what to watch. And then we get it all together, all the different recommendations, and have the Patreon members select, and whoever gets the most points wins. So please let us know. We're always wanting to consume more movies, and there's so many that we might, like you were just talking about that episode you were on. There were these movies that Aubrey was mentioning.
Yeah.
That you were like, oh shoot, I better put these on my list. So I love that.
Totally. Me too.
I love feeling like I snorted a bunch of Coke. I literally sound like Scarface, but like I only know what that feels like watching movies. And it looks like, they're having a good time until they're not. right? A little bit too much.
Yeah.
Oh my God. We just watched last night, The Night Before Christmas. Okay. This is like.
Oh, yeah. Is this the one with Seth Rogen?
Yes.
Yes. Oh, this movie is great.
God, I
It's
love
so
this
good.
movie. And as soon as I started talking about Coke, it made me think of him in that movie doing all those drugs. And, oh my gosh. This movie, yeah, if you're really sensitive, which you're probably not because you're listening to us, but if you are, you might not like it, but I fucking love this movie. We just watched it last night. Now I'm going to say.
For the first time?
No. We saw it. We've seen it before. I'm going to say now, whenever like at work or anything, people are like always saying, what is the holiday movie you watch every year? You know, and I always say, oh, Elf. You know, I watch Elf every year because it's fun. And it is funny. You know, I like that. Now I'm going to totally turn this ahead and I'm going to go, oh, the movie I recommend is The Night Before Christmas with Seth Rogen. And I'm going to have people watch it and come back to me and go, oh my God, Felicia. And I'm like, right, it's great.
It's so funny. It's so funny. Oh God, it's got like amazing actors too. Who are the other? It's Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
James Franco is in it. Also,
Mackie. Is that his name?
Yes, Anthony Mackie.
Yeah.
And then Lizzie Kaplan. Oh, also,
oh, really?
Alana Glazer.
Oh, yeah.
From
I love
Broad
her.
City.
Yes,
I love her too.
It's a great movie.
Oh my God, Jason Mantzoukas? Is that?
Oh yeah, I love him.
He's so funny.
We need to rewatch this. We watched this, I think, for the first time a couple years ago, and we were like, "That was amazing."
You got to. To. All right. Right after that, we watched the one about with James Franco and The Interview. We watched that. We kind of went on a kick. We just love Seth Rogen and James Franco and all those people together are just fucking great. Anyways, it's not what we're here to talk about. Anything else, Tawny?
That's it.
Okay. Here we go, then. Today, we are actually talking about a movie. We're talking about The Menu from 2022. I saw it in the theater, and so did Tawny. The director was Mark Mylod. Hopefully I said that right. And he's a British TV and film director, and he is best known for his the directing he's done on TV series like Succession, Game of Thrones, Shameless, and Entourage.
Okay.
The writer was Seth Rice and Will Tracy. Our beloved cast. Ralph Fiennes was Julian Slowik. Hope I said that right. Slowik. Anya Taylor-Joy is Margot Mills. Nicholas Hoult, love you, as Tyler. Yes. God, I love him.
Both of these people.
Yes. Hong Chow was Elsa. She was the one of the waiters in there. Janet McTeer was Lillian Bloom, and her partner Ted was played by Paul Adelsrein. John Leguizamo played the movie star with his assistant Felicity, played by Amy Carrero. And then the rich married couple, Judith Light. Gosh, I haven't seen her in forever. She played Anne, and her husband, Richard, was played by Reed Birney.
What was she in? I didn't recognize her.
Oh my gosh, she is from the 80s TV show Who's the Boss? And she owned the home, and oh gosh, what was that guy's name? Tony Danza was he worked at the home with his little girl who was Alyssa Milano when she was a kid.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah. So that's what I remember. I'm sure she was in some other things, but that's what I remember. Oh, Transparent. Did you see that TV show Transparent?
No.
Oh, that's a good one. She's in that. I recommend that one. But anyways, yeah, it was my time, I think, from when I recognized her. But she wasn't Transparent, and that was really great. Okay. And then we have the three, I guess, criminal guys. Arturo Castro played Soren. Rob Yang played Bryce. And Mark Senior Sire, I believe it is Dave. Played Dave. That was Dave.
Played Dave. Was Dave.
The stats. So the budget was $30 million. And so far, box office is at $49.9 million.
Okay.
Rotten Tomatoes gave it an 88%. IMDb gave it 7.5 out of 10. And Letterboxd gave it 3.8 out of 5. All right. So digest that a little bit. And then we'll move on with 2 minutes with Tawny or Felicia reading Wikipedia because 2 minutes with Tawny is not done. Either way, we love this segment.
It'll be Tawny reading from Wikipedia. All right, so here we go. Turn back now if you don't want this movie spoiled for you, and it's brand new, so you might want to turn back. But if you don't want to go see it in theaters, here we go, I guess. Okay. Tyler and his companion Margot Mills travel by boat to Hawthorne, an exclusive restaurant owned and operated by celebrity chef Julian Slowick, located on a private island. The other guests attending the dinner are Lillian, a food critic, her editor Ted, a wealthy couple Richard and Anne, George, a post-prime movie star, and his personal assistant Felicity, and business partners Soren, Dave, and Bryce. The group are given a tour of the island by the restaurant Maitre d'?
Yeah, Maitre d'.
But there's also a hotel after that. Maitre d' Hotel? Is that like the full word?
Oh.
I don't know. Anyway, it says Maitre d' Hotel. Elsa, who notes that Margot was not Tyler's designated guest for the evening. Dinner begins with the courses.
Yeah. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
I'm such an asshole that I'm sorry.
No,
it is
go ahead.
Maitre d' Hotel. It's like de hotel. Maitre de hotel. And it says the person in a restaurant who oversees the wait persons and busboys and who typically handles reservations.
Interesting. I've never heard anybody say the full thing. I've only heard maitre d'.
Me too.
Which is why I just said it by default.
First time. Hey.
Okay. All right. Okay, so dinner begins with the courses and Slowick's accompanying monologues becoming more disquieting and violent. On Slowick's orders, one staff member kills himself and another cuts off Richard's finger. The restaurant's main investor is drowned in front of the guests. Later, the male guests try to flee but are caught and returned by the staff. Slowick declares all the guests were selected because they either contributed to him losing his passion for his craft or because they make a living off of exploiting the work of artisans like him. He announces that the night will end with everyone on the island dead. Since Margot's presence was unplanned, Slowick gives her the choice of either dying with the staff or the guests. Slowick reveals that Tyler was invited personally and knew all along that the dinner would end with everyone's death. It is revealed that Margot is a sex worker named Erin, whom Tyler has hired for the evening, knowing full well she would die. Slowick humiliates Tyler further, influencing Tyler to commit suicide by hanging in a storeroom. Slowick decides that Erin belongs with the staff and asks her to collect a barrel needed for dessert, falsely claiming Elsa forgot it. Erin sneaks into Slowick's house, only to be attacked by Elsa. Erin kills Elsa in self-defense by stabbing her in the neck. After seeing newspaper clippings of Slowick's past life in his office, Erin finds a radio, calls for help, and returns to the restaurant. A Coast Guard officer arrives from his boat, then reveals himself to be a line cook in disguise and returns to the kitchen. Due to Erin's betrayal, Slowick now declares that she belongs with the guests, but Erin mocks his dishes and complains that she is still hungry. Having previously seen a photo of a young, happy Slowick working at a fast food restaurant, Erin asks him for a cheeseburger and fries. Sorry, cannot speak today. Moved by her simple request, Slowick prepares the meal to her specifications. Erin takes a bite and praises his food, then she asks if she can get it to go. Slowick packs the food for her and lets her leave. Erin takes the Coast Guard boat docked nearby and escapes the island. To end the dinner, Slowick pays tribute to s'mores by covering the guests with coats made of marshmallows and hats made of chocolate. He then sets the restaurant ablaze, killing the guests, staff, and himself as Erin watches from the boat. The end. And also, I just want to toss in this last little note. She does use the menu from the night as a napkin. I thought that was a nice little touch.
All right. Tawny, what do you think about this movie?
I really liked this. This was good. This was really good. I was like, I feel like, so we just saw it last night, or no, 2 nights ago. So I don't have like, I feel like I'm coming in so fresh to this conversation. I don't know anything about it, no trivia. So you're going to tell me if there's anything. I know it's hard when there's a new movie. And I'm excited to hear about like maybe a deeper conversation about the themes. But I left feeling like, how is this movie about everything at the same time? Like, I was like, this is clearly a movie about art and criticism, critique, like trying to read too much into something, creativity and art and class and like the service industry, maybe even like the sex work industry. Like there was a lot there. And I was like, that was neat and it was fun. So, and I appreciated the comedy in it because it was pretty dark.
Yes.
It was a pretty bleak, well, yeah, like dark comedy movie. And I like that. So.
All right.
Yeah. How did you feel?
Dude, I feel the exact same way.
Okay.
We walked out of this movie. I was so nervous. I went with Steve and I was like, oh my God, I really liked this movie. No. I loved this movie. I loved it. And I was like, I really liked this movie. I was nervous what Steve was going to say. And he goes, oh, I fucking loved that movie.
I was going to say, I bet he fucking loved it.
He loved it. Yeah. He gave it a 4.8. Oh. He doesn't give anything a 5.
Yeah.
He thinks.
That's basically a 5 then.
Yeah. He loved it. I loved it. Same reasons you did. I thought the acting was great.
Yes.
The atmosphere. I loved the little things they did, like a cooking show, put like the ingredients.
Me too.
The
dish.
Yes. Everything was just so good. I enjoyed it immensely. I had the best time. So much so that I would put it in my top 2022 movies, if not the top. Crazy shit right there. I know.
Okay. All right.
But it's up. It's going like, back and forth within me. But that's how much I loved it. I am so happy that I went and enjoyed that movie in the theater. Not that you have to see this movie in the theater, but it was just great. I'm so happy I saw that movie and I'm glad we did it because I don't think I would have seen it until maybe next year if we hadn't. So anyway, I really, really loved it. And I was very excited to talk about it today.
Me too. I'm glad that you picked it because this was your pick. And I was like, I'm down for whatever you want to do. And I am glad that you picked it and we went to the theater. Jade also left saying, I think he said that this is like a perfect movie. He loved it. He was like, that is like nice. A damn near perfect movie for me. Like that was really incredible. I only have like a couple of problems with it, which we can get into later. Not even problems, just like one thing I was like, I'm not so sure about that. And the other thing I was like, I don't know what this was supposed to mean, So we can talk more about that.
Maybe we should just talk about it.
Just okay.
Get it. Because I don't have anything. Honestly, I don't feel like I have anything that I was, I don't know about that. Like I nothing. I liked it all. I liked all the performances. I loved everything about this movie. You might bring something up that will make me go, oh, you know what? I didn't even think about that. But so far,
okay.
I'm
so I'll start in the middle
on it.
So that we don't just go straight to the end like we usually do.
Okay.
I feel like the one moment that sort of I was like, oh, I don't understand people's reactions to this is when the sous chef kills himself in front of everybody. They're serving a dish called the mess, and he stands in front of them and like pulls out a gun and shoots himself in the head. Like it is violent and sudden and crazy, and people freak out, but they don't freak out the way that I feel like you would actually freak out in that situation. Like they stand up from their chairs or stand up from their chairs at their table, and some of them kind of like freak out and try to leave, but like that's it. Like, and they kind of usher everybody back to the seats and it's like over. I feel like people would actually be panicked. You know what I mean? And Jade was like, so we were talking about this on the way home and he was like, yeah, but I feel like they think it might be part of the like game. Like it's all a show. But I'm like, if I watch somebody do that in front of me, I would not think, and even in the movie, watching the movie, there's no reason to believe that that's not real. Like you just watch somebody shoot that. How would you fake that level of like, that was crazy. So that was like I feel like that was just a little bit too much of a, what's it called? Where you
Suspend your disbelief a
Yes.
little too much. They're asking too much of you.
Yeah. I feel like people would be like trampling each other to get out of there.
So I feel like I thought the reactions were believable in you. Can you imagine? It's just incomprehensible. There's no way any of these people, even when he did that, are thinking that this chef is really going to start killing people.
The thing is, I don't think it actually is about I'm in danger. I think it's more about like the trauma of seeing that happen and then what's your reaction to that. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I think that some people did have that initial trauma. Then that woman in the middle who supposedly reviews restaurants all over, she was really calm and she was like, this is a part of the show. This is a part of the show. I think you might, because how fucking crazy. Let's say you and me and Steve and Jade all go to dinner and it's like this big production and who knows what these people are like. The richest of the rich, the shit that they have seen and been a part of and like have partaked in. And there's like this hugely, ridiculously theatrical experience from right when you get on the fucking boat. Like everything is over, above and beyond. And you don't know what to expect. And these big monologues. And then this happened. Is it theater? I think it would be so shocking. And then because you have to think about it. This guy does that, but then the chef himself is calm. All those cooks in the back are like totally chill. It would be hard to think, oh, all of these people are a part of this. No one is flinching. Like everyone is just like totally chill with this guy blowing his brains out. Right, because everyone's just like, yeah, chef. And then they go back to cooking. I think you might, or there would be people, not necessarily you. I think there would be people that might be like, okay, this has got to be theater. There's no way that literally just happened, especially when some of the patrons who apparently have eaten here before are like, it's all show. It's all show. But then very quickly after that couple does decide to leave and they cut off his finger. And I think at that point, people are like, oh shit, what is going on? Yeah. But I think it would be so shocking that maybe even you would want to convince yourself that this was all show. Kind of like, and I won't mention the name, the movie we saw.
I know what
I'm talking about?
Maybe. I was going to mention the movie, but not mention the scene or anything.
Oh, shoot.
Well, what are you talking about?
Okay, because I could edit it. I'm talking about Haunt, when their friend gets killed. Okay, yeah, that's what I was going to talk about.
Oh, okay. I'm going to say it. But I'm not going to say like when their friend gets killed. I'm just going to say Haunt. So we'll cut out this part of the conversation.
Okay. And then just go into like what you're saying. Okay.
Yeah. So I'm thinking the same thing.
Okay.
And I'm not going to name because I don't want to ruin it. But there is a scene. Maybe I won't mention it. It is kind of like we're already talking about it. So you know what happens. But yes, there is a movie that we talked about recently that does the same thing. But I think that movie was in our October lineup. Okay, if you listen to those, you know what we're talking about. But that gives you a setup where you're like, yeah, I know that this is fake, kind of. And I just don't feel that same level in this environment. I hear what you're saying. I think you have really good points. And I did not catch the food critic, like calming everybody else down and making them. But I think that's how I would be in real life. I don't think I would be listening to anybody. I think I would be like, you know what I mean? I think it would become white noise and I would just be like, did I just watch somebody die in front of me? And I think I would panic. And I think, you know, what that panic looks like, I think is different for different people. Some people may want to convince themselves. And so I think that's a really good point. I think I might just sit in a corner and cover my eyes.
And I think some of them, some
wait
of them
to wake
did.
up or something, you know?
Some of them, like the three guys, felt like untouchable. Like that shit, you know, they were scared, but they were like, you know, they felt like they had some power there, which was false because in this environment, you don't.
Yeah.
And the eccentric, I'm just saying like that upper echelon of wealth and eccentricity, I think you could be convinced it was theater.
Maybe. It was a little hard for me to get there. And I really didn't like Tyler's reaction because he was like not fucking shocked at all. But then later you learn that he knew everybody was going to die. So it was fine later. But in the moment I was like, oh, I don't like that he's not even shocked at all by this, you know? But it was fine. They remedied it later. But
so I wonder about that too. No, you're bringing up really great points. Like I talked about how much I love Muse. That if I was at a Muse concert and that happened, if I would think, because I'm so obsessed with them, I obviously hold them in high regard, that wouldn't truly be what just happened. They're making a statement of some sort about, and that happens to be a band that makes a lot of statements about a lot of things, not horrifically like this, but
right.
like if that happened, I'd be like, oh shit, I think I would switch into there's no way that actually happened. Especially if the band started playing more music and started going about their thing, I think I would think and acting like nothing happened. I'd be like, oh shit, that must have been part of the thing. That was a little too much for me. But I think that I would be convinced that was part of the thing, especially if there was no fear, no reaction, and no chaos from anybody else involved.
That I think is maybe to me your most compelling counterpoint is like, yeah, I think I would be, I don't think I'd be listening, but I think I would be probably looking around at people. And if half the people in this room, which are the people who are in the know about what's going to happen, are not panicking, I think that would make me feel really off kilter. Like I would be like, I don't know. Did I just see what I thought I saw? Nobody's panicking over there. You know?
Yeah, now they're serving you food and they're cooking. Like, it's just like
so confusing.
It would be traumatizing for sure. But I could see like why maybe people convinced themselves that it was okay or that it wasn't real.
Okay, all right, I accept these. I still think it's not a perfect representation because I like people panicking. I think that's like one of the scariest things is when you cannot predict what people are going to do because they're fucking panicked. And I was like hoping to see a little bit more of that. But it's not like I'm really nitpicking on that. It wasn't like the end of the world or anything. The other thing that I don't know what they were going for is right at the fucking end when they show her on the boat and she's eating the cheeseburger that she got to go and the island blows up and she's eating it and she goes to wipe her mouth. All of a sudden in the last 2 seconds, there's a very sinister sound. And I was like, what does that mean? I couldn't figure it out. I was like, does this mean that Jade said he thought it meant that he poisoned the burger and that she's going to die anyway? I felt like, is she going to become his protege in a way and do this to other people? I don't know. There was just something there that felt like it was trying to tell us, the audience, something with the sound and music. And I didn't know what it was. So I don't know if you picked up on that also, or if you have any thoughts.
I have a snippet from highnonfilms.com about the menu 2022. And I am really bummed that I didn't hear that sinister sound. I don't know if I was already looking at Steve and saying I liked this or what, but I don't remember hearing the sound, which I'm bummed. And I can't rewind to go watch it again just yet, but I will.
Right.
This is what it says. Jane, meanwhile, is all alone in the Pacific Ocean when her boat has suddenly run out of gas and she hears the big explosion. Her only company on the boat, ? The remnants of the chef's last creation. A good old cheeseburger. The closing shot of the movie is thus her biting into the cheeseburger and hearing a faint clap in the distance. So it was supposed to be the chef. Remember when he would clap?
Yeah.
And everyone, that's what it was supposed to be, the sound. Is Slowick finally dead? Or does it potentially mean that there was something wrong with the burger? After all, the chef's right hand earlier had suggested how if the meat were to age just by 1 day longer than usual, it would prove lethal to the consumer. Well, that's for you to decide. Given the past works, The Onion and John Oliver veterans, Seth Rice and Will Tracy, it was expected that the menu wouldn't leave us with any easy answers. But, well, given their empathy for the working class in general, it's safe to assume that Jane made it out alive, right?
Jane? That is not her name.
Margot, I think she went in with Jane. Remember? She didn't use her real name. And then Margot was her real name.
Oh.
Remember when she first...
But Margot wasn't her name either.
Margot was not her name. Jane was, right?
Erin was her real name.
Oh, you're right. What is this Jane in this article?
I don't know.
Oh, that's weird. Okay. I didn't add that. That was all in this article. It kept calling her Jane. Not sure. We're talking about Anna.
Erin.
Taylor. Anya Taylor-Joy is who we're talking about.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it's kind of like you don't know. And I have a whole thing here too. I'm glad you wrote that because I wrote all this about it. I'm like, is that like she was clever enough to tap into that moment of when he was innocent, when he wasn't corrupted, or his passion wasn't corrupted, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he still had joy in cooking. And she was able to tap into that just a little bit to where he was fully brought back to that joy of cooking and serving people. And so he was just almost like in a trance, and he cooked it and he gave it to her. And then she's like, can I take it to go? Because it was a burger joint. And he was like, yes. Did he realize at that point, she is not the type of person that I'm trying to kill? Like, she doesn't represent what I hate in cooking. She actually represents what I love in cooking. Did she tap that into him? Did that all happen? But his ego was too prominent. So yes, he experienced that joy of cooking that cheeseburger and letting her take it to go, but no fucking way he was going to let anybody get out alive.
Oh, interesting.
And made it with that beef that ended up killing her. We don't know. Or like you said, that was something I didn't see online, but is she going to replace him? The only thing that makes me think she wouldn't replace him is because she was like really not interested in any of
this.
Yeah.
No, but yeah, there was something about the mutual disdain for like the hoity-toity nature of this,
Yes.
So I don't have any reason to believe that other than the sound that happened at the end. And, maybe they shared that connection about like, yeah, there are people out here doing bad things. Not all of them, but those guys were like embezzling money, and the food critic like shut people's restaurants down. And then the guy like was cheating on his wife. So there were like people,
and he was
in the
disgusting. Crowd. He hired her as a sex worker and had her dress up like his daughter and call him daddy.
Yeah, I got lost a little bit in that because I thought he was talking about what's his name? Tyler. I thought he was talking about Tyler, and I was like,
no, because remember when that guy's wife was saying she looks like our daughter? Remember, she's not our daughter. Remember? So he hired a fucking sex worker that looked like his daughter.
Yeah,
and had him call her daddy, or vice versa, her call him daddy. This is so disgusting. This man is disgusting. But interestingly enough, it felt like to me that it wasn't so much that he was fucking disgusting human being, but more about like wealth and mindless consumption.
Yes. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Versus the fact that he's fucking disgusting human being.
But then you've got like his wife who has done nothing wrong, which is, again, I think it goes towards that like wealth and the, mindless consumption. Because it's like, why subject her to death?
Well, yeah, because when he said, what's one thing that you remember eating? And she was like, the halibut, right? And he goes, it was cod.
Yeah, it was the opposite.
That's just opposite. She was like, the cod. And he's like, it was halibut. Fucking, like, that seemed to upset him more than the fact that this guy was just a disgusting pervert.
Yeah, yeah. So it was really a mix. It was a weird mix because it's like, but she was stealing money, the assistant from the whatever. But anyway,
I think in some of these units that came together, they really were similar and in the same boat, right? So if you have the actor and the assistant, they're both power hungry. They're both looking to be loved and notoriety and all of that. She's just in a different position versus Jane, I'm just kidding, versus Margot, and Tyler, Margot and Tyler, like she's really way left field. Like she didn't fit it. His girlfriend probably did. Maybe they were both bloggers. Maybe they were both, and I loved this theme, and then I'll be quiet and let you actually talk. I apologize. I loved this theme of like taking pictures. There's so many times like we just are not fully present in the experience. And whether we're trying to preserve the experience, which isn't so bad, but oftentimes when you're at concerts too, they're like, put down your phones and just like, I know Muse does this, put down your phones and like experience it with your eyes and your heart versus recording the whole thing. But also like, are we truly experiencing it? We're constantly thinking about what to share with our audience on social media. Like, do we really love this? Or is it Tyler more wanting to assert his superiority over everyone else? Look at me. I know this. I am an expert in this. And it also made me, and this is really the last thing I'll say, how the whole culture of like armchair detectives is the one thing I think of. But like, because we consume the shows and the research that we look up on Google, we are somehow now elevated to be a part of this group. In this movie, it would be like a part of this chef and his crew who have dedicated their lives to cooking, not fucking watching every cooking show and blogging about it. And now how somehow we feel like, oh, we can be a part of this because of the media we've consumed, and or taking it to the next level and destroying people's lives for their own glory. Like you think of the really great documentary, Don't Fuck with Cats, I think it was what it was called.
Yeah.
I won't say anything about it, but one piece, and this is probably in anything, honestly, with true crime, where you feel like you have all the pieces and you narrow in on one person and you start saying, it's this person, and you destroy that fucking person's life. And it's not that person.
Totally.
Like, I just loved this whole, obviously now I feel like I'm on coke, this whole thing about this type of culture that we have going on.
Yes. And there was a lot in there, but I'm just going to... Sometimes I can't, keep track of my head, but I'm going to keep going with that thread. Like, I feel like having this conversation about the movie is so, like, the movie is so meta. It's talking about the criticism of, and the analyzation, I don't know, that's not the right word, but you know what I mean? Analyzing themes and trying to figure it out and look behind the curtain. And one of the lines that stuck out to me the most in the movie is when he says to, I think it's Tyler, he says, you are what takes all the magic or something out of what I do. I don't remember verbatim because it's really hard to take notes in a theater, but he basically says to him, like, you people out there are taking away the fun and the magic because you're looking behind the curtain, you're deconstructing what's happening and you're telling everyone about it and you're learning about it and you're like fucking it up. And so by even having like a podcast where we talk about movies, I was like, is this about us? Like, I feel like this is about what we're doing right this moment. And so everything that we're saying feels like the movie has like a meta commentary on that. Like, you can't, and I do wonder, how far is too far and what takes the fun out of what the creation is, Are you looking too hard? You've got Tyler who really reads into it, trying to make connections that maybe aren't even there. That wasn't the intent. And I don't know that the movie is necessarily saying that that's like a terrible thing to be happening, because it just is what it is. But like, it is an interesting.
Everybody, welcome to the last episode of Two Chicks and a Horror Flick. Yeah. It's true though. It's true. I think I did read something
like when you discover everything that there is to discover.
I'm going to redeem us for having a horror podcast. I did read something about Tyler's character in particular was a lot about not even so much that he had such love for
That's
the
true.
cooking process, but it was more exerting his superiority over
Yes,
others.
and intelligence. I
Yes.
know.
And
I know
you
what
can
this
see
is.
people that do that, right? Research. Oh, I'm the fucking scholar on this shit. And what you're saying is bullshit. We don't ever do that. We watch a movie and we come to everybody and we share. This is how I feel. This is how, and you know what? You can love it. And we could have a heated debate. And I think that's what's cool about us. If everyone wants to know, we could have a totally heated debate about a movie, which I had the other night, right? With people I really love and care about, really heated, and then be like, okay, cool. Because it's fun. Because I acknowledge that other people have different opinions than me and they're all valid. Where I think not so much. He felt like, oh, I fucking know everything. Everyone else here is just like, ugh, I'm the one that deserves to be here.
Yeah.
So much so that he really thought he could fucking get a chef coat and go in and cook with these people.
I know, dude.
That was so uncomfortable. That scene.
I love when he Sharpies on Tyler. That made me laugh really hard.
Oh God, that was so, I've just felt like, I felt humiliated for him. He's like, get me some shallots. Oh, shallot. He just did that so well. I love Nicholas Hoult once again. He's just blowing my mind. I love him.
Yeah. Oh, so good.
But anyways, we're not like that.
No,
we're
totally
watching movies and we're telling people what we think and go see it. And if you love it and we didn't, awesome. You know, I hope people love all the movies because the filmmakers put a lot into it. So, and the actors and everybody. So, you know.
Yeah. I hear what you're saying because it was like it just fed his ego, right? He was just there to feed his ego. He's like, look at how smart I am and how much I know. And I did all the research and
look what I'm eating.
Tell you about it.
Yeah, you don't know anything. Your opinion does not matter.
Yeah, let me enlighten you on
even
what this
with
is.
the suicide thing. How about that? Why is everyone freaking out? Like, this is just like, well, I mean, he knew everyone was going to die anyway, but yeah, he was just.
Oh, but good point. That's like another added dimension into like, I know what's going to happen here. Therefore, I am above everyone. And why is everybody freaking out? You know, like, he's got to be one step ahead of everyone else. Oh, that guy was a pretentious fucking asshole. I mean, I knew that going in, but like now that we're talking about it, I'm starting to like, really see. And also the fact that he doesn't run when all the men run. They take them all outside, remember? And they're like, you have a 45-second head start. Go ahead. And he doesn't run. That is, at the time, I thought, oh, this guy's just being like.
So naive.
Kind of, like kind of a dum-dum.
Yeah.
But I think it was all, pretension. Like he's like, I don't need to.
He even felt special and elevated because he knew everyone, including himself, was going to die. But he knew it.
Right. Yeah.
No one else did. The chef told him.
Yeah.
And so he even felt like, oh, yeah, not me, right?
Right.
And then the three mobsters. So, like, I just wrote down themes that had, like, themes I thought popped up. This might not be it, but lots of stuff about mindless consumption, which we talked about, and then how that leads to really the degradation, degrading.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, the things that you love and that you find joy in. You always hear that saying too, or you've probably heard that saying, especially if you've ever wanted to start your own business, even if it's a podcast, whatever it is, but like to be careful because the things that you love and find passion in, if you turn it into a job, you're not going to love it as much anymore. So a lot about that, and also power and ego, right? So you have those three mobster guys that just felt like they can have whatever they want. The rules don't apply to them. They can push around whoever they want, which is not the case. And that ego, like having a famous, well-known chef friend or equaling your higher self-worth. So basing your self-worth on the people you know, the type of dinners you can afford, just all of this, and then not even appreciating. It was irritating me in the beginning, before obviously I knew what the fuck was going on, how fucking bastardly all these motherfuckers were. Okay. If I had this experience, no death and murder included, right? Let's just say I got to go on this very exclusive dinner. I would be awestruck. I would be very interested. We're walking along the beach of where they're freshly picking my food. that is so fucking cool. And then the beautiful building and how everyone's like, yeah, chef, you know, and all of the perfection and I truly, and I got to leave and live. This would be one of the most amazing experiences that I would talk about for years to come. But here you have all these super fucking pretentious and privileged motherfuckers. They're making fun on the beach. Hey man, pick some good ones for me. You know, like they were so obnoxious. And then Margot was irritating me because I didn't know that she was hired at that point.
Yeah.
And I was like, she's just like, I don't want to eat. What the fuck is this? I'm like, why is she even fucking here? Like I was totally on Tyler's side. Like I thought she was being so obnoxious because why go if you're going to be a fucking dick about it? Honestly, why go? Not realizing like even
I also thought that she was his girlfriend in the beginning. Okay. No, go ahead.
No, I just kept going. I apologize. It was like if I was really excited about this experience and I invited you to go with me and you were fucking shitting on everything. I don't know, Tawny. I don't know if I would want to talk to you right after. I mean, can you just fucking pretend to be interested? Like, I really love this.
Just don't be like totally rude about it. But but we understand later. I feel, I don't want to say the opposite, but I feel like one thing I think this movie really fucking nailed that I feel like a lot of movies don't. A lot of movies have like a point of view, you know, and then they make these people over the top villains. And so you said bastardly. I don't actually think that they went that far. I think they really walked a perfect line of making these people who they are, but it didn't feel like they were like super caricatures.
100%.
And they are for sure, especially later as they sit down and start eating and stuff. But in the beginning, they weren't immediately over the top to me. Like I really liked that we like really settled into these people because I don't like it when it's just straight up like right off the bat, people are like saying like buzzwords and things that you're like, oh, I fucking get it. You know, you're supposed to be the dick of the like I don't know. I really liked that, but I hear what you're saying. But I just think that those people reacted differently to this experience because they are privileged and they've been doing things like this. So this was like old news to them, you know, like I liked that. I thought they did a really good job of it.
So if I can say I 100% agree with you. I called them bastardly because I had a really emotional reaction for the fact that nobody was appreciating this.
Yeah.
They all had their little snarky things to say. So I think I almost felt like the chef at that point where you might not be as into cooking as I am. You might only come because it's a prestige thing. But they all are very lovingly passionate about the work they do as culinary artists.
Yeah.
So no matter what it is, to come in with this attitude of unappreciation, equaling bastardly. But you're right.
Yes,
no one was over the top. No one was character. It was really, I think that's what's so infuriating about it as well, is because it was very realistic. You could totally see people coming in and making these comments and doing all of that. And I just felt like, I just think that that's so rude when somebody is just so passionate. And this is truly an experience that was created and catered to giving, well, no, they're killing you. But if they weren't killing you,
right,
to giving you like this amazing experience about the love that they feel for their art, it's so rude to go in with your jokes and your shittiness. That's just how I feel.
100%. And I think something that, as we're talking about this, I'm realizing like that chef feels like they're giving so much to these guests that they just don't appreciate it whatsoever. And I think that's why ultimately, to come back to something you said earlier, I think that's ultimately why he lets her go and why I don't want to believe that the burger is poisoned in any way, because he even says to her, are you a giver or are you a taker? Like, and so he's giving this experience to these guests who don't give a shit. And she doesn't really either, but she doesn't for a different reason. You know, she's just like, I don't understand what the big deal is with this. But then she is able to give him an experience in making the burger that returns him back to a place of like loving what he's doing. And I think that's why he lets her go. Because he's like, you've become a giver not a taker.
Fuck, Tawny, you gave me cold chills. This is it. Everybody listen. Everyone needs to know. This is it. I literally have cold chills. Yes, she gave him. She was a giver in that moment and he let her go. I totally agree. Yes. This is it. This is it. Stamped, sealed, signed, and delivered.
Delivered, yeah.
That's what it is. She lives because she was a giver. Even though she was manipulating the situation, she did give him back that experience that I talked about earlier. And I love that.
And maybe it wasn't even so much that she, in the moment, was giving, like, you know what I mean? But she returned him to a time that he enjoyed cooking. And he got to experience that joy again.
For the last time, because that was the last.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, Tawny. I got excited. Go.
Oh, no, that was it. You got what I was saying. No, you're good.
That was the last meal he got to prepare.
Yeah. Oh,
and it brought him back to a time where he loved and enjoyed cooking.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, and people are so different, I think, consuming that level of food, you know? But then he's at this, like, upper echelon level of, like, everybody's critiquing and thinking about it and, you know, not enjoying it just for what it is. And again, this comes back to that meta conversation about, like, you know, is this how we consume art? You know, like, is there a level where it's like you don't just like it for what it is. You have to pick it apart and become an expert and, you know, take all the fun and joy out of it.
Yeah, because for him and for probably anyone we could think of in, especially if we think of the restaurant industry, because I think all of us eat. And I think we can relate to this, especially with all the cooking shows. He enjoyed cooking burgers, but if you're going to be successful and have a restaurant or, you know, maybe that's your ultimate goal to have a restaurant, you need to take that up a bit, right? Mm-hmm. And then he refines it. And then there's reviews. And then you start chasing the reviews. And then you start adapting your menu to that. And then it gets to this point where you are, you know, charging people thousands of dollars, only 12 guests at a time to eat foam and different things like that. And the joy is out of it, but that's where you're at as far as feeding the ego, being successful, and what society deems as a successful chef. I don't know. I haven't talked to chefs, but I'm thinking about if I was a chef that it would be, right? Having, what do I know? Michelin stars. Being when the cooking show is saying, this is the restaurant you have to go to. This is what Felicia does in her restaurant. It's fucking epic, right? This is what like huge success is. And actually, after we watched that, and then I'll be quiet, Steve and I watched a movie that you guys can watch on Netflix. We watched it after we watched the menu, and it's with Bradley Cooper, and it's called Burnt. And it's kind of the same thing about the chef chasing down these Michelin stars and what's really important, how you get there, how it changes people, having this very, very backstabby environment, right? Where I'm, you know, the better chef, or I'm the better chef, and the Michelin stars and how that changes you as a person. And affects the relationships around you. Super good on Netflix, called Burnt, Bradley Cooper and Sienna Miller. And so it just kind of aligned with watching this dark comedy and seeing how that evolves.
Interesting. You guys watched back to back? Chef, was that an accident? Or were you like, I'm in the mood for this?
No, Steve played it. Steve loves chef movies. We have seen all of the TV shows. I think that also contributed to why he liked it so much. We've seen them all. Iron Chef, Competition, everything. Nailed it. Like everything. And so it was, and actually I have something about this. It was fun seeing like the little elements that were like a cooking show added into that. Steve cooks and learns from, he definitely doesn't take pictures or anything. I tried to get him to do a YouTube channel and he was like, fucking not about it. but not for any pretentious reason. He just didn't want to be on camera. But I have this little trivia. The lavish food layouts were prepared by renowned French chef Dominique Crenn, the only female chef in the United States to attain 3 Michelin stars for her restaurant, Atier Crenn, in San Francisco. So there's those Michelin stars again, but that's like the cream of the crop. Also, second unit director David Gelb, who was brought on to recreate the filmmaking style from his Netflix docuseries Chef's Table.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Yeah, we picked up on this too. It was like, this feels very chef show like, you know, just with the cinematography of it.
Yeah, and the little ingredients in this is what they're preparing. This is what's in it, right? And all of this stuff, I was like, oh, wow. Because we've seen everything from a really renowned chef who makes stuff out of leftovers and trash and, you know, recyclables to like, we've seen them all. So it was a lot of fun. And you can see this happening. The amount of ego. Yeah. It wasn't so unrealistic. This chef with this psychotically passionate and precise energy that they put into what they do.
Yeah.
I could see this happening.
Yeah. Yeah. Maybe not all the way, but it's so funny. I didn't realize that he liked cooking shows. It does feel like this movie was made for him.
Oh, yeah. My husband has three grills.
Yeah.
A smoker, a flat grill. He has all kinds of grills.
This is his horror movie.
This is a horror movie made for Steve.
Yes.
And he loved it. This is his favorite of all time. And he said it was way better than Nope. So
I'm going to be fighting this Nope battle for a long time.
I also have a trivia. Screenwriter Will Tracy came up with the idea of the short story while on his honeymoon in Bergen, Norway, when he took a boat to a fancy restaurant, Cornelius Schamatrasta restaurant. I'm not sure how to say that, on a nearby private island, and realized they were stuck or trapped on the island until the meal was done.
Ooh, scary. Ooh, can we talk about that? They called the Coast Guard guy and he comes in and you're like, oh shit, they're saved. You know, you're like, oh, this is happening. And then it was all like a fake. He was a fake guy. Oh my God. That's, I think, really when you know we're fucked. We're not getting out of this and we're all going to die. I think that was the moment where anything after that, however people acted, didn't bother me because they shot their shot. You know?
They took their shot?
Took their shot. Most people say like, shoot your shot, you know, but that's like a current. Okay. So I'm trying to do a past tense, but you know. Yeah, they tried to shoot their shot.
Yep.
There we go. And it didn't work. And that guy was a total, like, you know, he was an actor.
That was so good. I was in it. I thought for the whole time, and he had his gun out, I was like, oh, no.
I thought too, and I thought he was going to die. I thought he was like...
Me too. I thought they were going to kill him. Yeah.
Yeah. Amazing.
Amazing. And then he lights that candle with his lighter. With the gun. And seeing everyone go... We're done.
That's it. And so Jade was kind of like, I didn't understand why everybody sat and just let the s'mores end happen to them. He's like, but you do get it, you know? Like, they're on an island. They can't get off. The one person that they thought could come help didn't help. And what are you going to do? You know?
Where are you going to go?
Yeah.
There's people everywhere. Did they realize all their... And I doubt it, because people with that big of egos, and they're not going to be like a coming to Jesus moment. They're going to think they need to be saved.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I loved that it was s'mores that killed them because of his whole thing about how popular and beloved s'mores is when it's absolute garbage.
Yeah.
Chocolate, marshmallows, graham crackers. He explains like what they're made of. It's garbage. But everyone, fucking s'mores. Let's about s'mores. And by the way, I sound like an asshole. I love s'mores. I put them in the air fryer. So
I also love s'mores. Yeah.
I'm not knocking s'mores, but how if you think about the parallel of the amount of love and attention he puts into preparing food, and we're fucking taking all this fake shit and melting it together and going like, this is the epitome of yummy.
Yeah.
And then he puts it on everybody and fucking melts them.
But his monologues are just next level. Like, I was so entranced by his monologue. Like, I was so lulled in and in it. And I was, like, I think there's that first or second monologue where he's talking about it and they like cut over to Tyler and she's like, "Are you crying?" I felt that way. I felt that way watching him. I started to get a little like teary-eyed because I was just like, this guy is selling it, and his like monologues were so good. So even the monologue at the end about the s'mores, I felt like was so I don't know, like it was so enlightened, kind of. Like he was like, yeah, you take all this stuff and then you transform that with fire. What do you include that totally transforms what this is? It's fire. And I was just like, wow, this is amazing. And so you get what it's like to be a person in the room listening and being lulled by this. And you almost feel like, I think, I'm about to be part of something bigger than myself. I'm about to become a part of this art installation / menu by this brilliant guy. You almost go willingly, right? Because you're like, this is it. And I'm a part of this. And I was like, blown the fuck away. Spoiler alert, I came home and I changed my ratings for our Stabbies episode, which we're going to do. And I literally put Ralph Fiennes, I don't know how you say that. Fiennes?
Fiennes.
Yeah. Okay. As my number one best outstanding performance of the year.
Yes.
I was like, this guy was incredible. Like, I couldn't believe how many emotions he could convey from just subtle emoting on his face at one time. Like, that guy blew me away. Everybody was like pretty good, especially I think him and Margot and Tyler. Like I love them all as actors, but he really sold it.
Dude, he was amazing. And when I saw you post in there, hey, can I change my Stabbies awards? I just had a feeling it was for the better. Yeah. I mean, the only other category would have been like most disappointing. And I just felt like there's no way she's putting it in most disappointing. I hoped you would. There's no way.
No.
I totally agree. And I have something about this storyteller thing. So in November 2022, New York Times article on the closing of the Willows Inn on Loomy Island, Washington State, Julia Moskin reported that the restaurant and its numerous allegations of sexual harassment and lawsuits claiming wage theft were among the inspiration for the restaurants depicted in the movie. In an earlier article titled The Menu Serves Fine Dining on a Skewer, Moskin listed other restaurants that were among the film's inspiration as well. Hawthorne, in quotes. So Hawthorne, the fictional restaurant, is a mashup of haute rustic destinations like Noma in Copenhagen, Blue Hill at Stone Barns, north of New York City, Marguerite's in the Basque Country, and the Willows in the Pacific Northwest, and the Chef Francis Malman's private island off the coast of Patagonia. These restaurants are adored by critics and awards panels, and visited mainly by wealthy gastro tourists, are places where, according to their own literature, chefs are not cooks but storytellers and about time and place, who are not merely feeding people but weaving a tale of senses, gestures, and emotions. Okay, I want to go to all of these places because I want to eat and have a story.
Yeah.
You kidding me? That sounds epic. Epic experience.
Best. Yeah, I fucking love and I live to eat. And
yes.
I would love. I mean, the thing is, I don't know if I have, a crazy fucking palate. Like, they're eating crazy fucking caviar shit. I don't know about that.
So caviar,
seafood, but
no caviar. Okay, everybody, I digress for a moment. I just learned this on a chef show.
Okay.
Because I think we watch them daily. TT's in it too. Caviar just means, and I'm not going to use the right verbiage, so any professional chefs out there, I'm sorry. Caviar just means the ball. Like, you can make caviar out of mango or caviar out of, it's like the little ball, and they make these little delicate balls out of different flavors. So you do have caviar like the fish eggs, but they make caviar out of other things. And it's called caviar because it's the little spears, but it's not fish egg.
Oh,
it's like made out of different things.
Okay. I think you also eat caviar anyway on the sushi, right? Like the little
Those
orange.
little orange are eggs. Yeah.
Definitely eat those. Okay. I just try not to think about it. I'm just like, I don't know.
Yeah, and it's easy because they're teeny weeny not to think about them. But no, you can make caviar that is non-fish. That is...
flavors or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. So
texture thing.
Everybody knows now.
Huh, interesting. Okay. Yeah, this would be dope. Like this is one of the things that I like the most about traveling is eating at different places. I'm an eater.
Yeah, exactly. I would try these things. Like I watch these food channels and I love food. I have tried things like an octopus leg that I thought, oh God, no, with those tentacles. It was a grilled octopus leg and it was one of the best things I've ever eaten. So we're going on a cruise next year. And one of the things, okay, I'm not telling you I'm doing it, but one of the things on the menu is escargot. And those are snails for those of you who don't know. I'm not thinking I'm doing it, but I'm also totally a peer pressure person. Yeah. And Steve has had it and he's liked it. He's like, I wouldn't eat it all the time, but I mean, it was good. I probably will. My oldest is going to have it. And so I'm sure I'll have a bite. It doesn't. But the octopus leg, I was scared of the suction cups on octopi. And I had that. And octopus sashimi, the raw octopus.
Yeah. Didn't I eat
it's my favorite.
With you? You had me try this.
Yeah. It is my favorite, dipped in salt and almond oil.
Sesame.
Almond oil. I'm a psychotic. No, it's sesame oil.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I tried this. It wasn't my fave. I don't like the texture, but I did try it.
Yes, she did. That was awesome. It made my heart flutter. But yeah, it is. That's my favorite. So anyways, I'm just saying, I want to try all of these things. I'm curious. That would be really cool experience, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just like, what are you willing to try? Like, I don't think I could eat bugs.
Okay.
Unless it didn't look like a bug.
I don't want bugs. Fuck that.
I can't like fish. Like I cannot eat a fish with a head on it still. I will try like fish. I'm not a seafood fan in general, but I will try fish if it doesn't look like fish. And I feel like I could do the same with bugs. Like I could probably try it if it didn't look like but like people who eat like Jade ate when we went to New Orleans, he ate crawdads or whatever, like it had to like eat them, like you open
those little fish though. Yeah, you suck out their brains.
Oh my God, no. I was like, I cannot.
I do like crawdads, but it's not my favorite, but I do like it.
I mean, I can also eat like we got meals with I think crawdad meat in it, and that was fine. I just cannot look like an animal. I can't do it.
I'm on board with bugs with bugs because I can't imagine. No, they might not be gross, but I also can't imagine they're so phenomenally good that I have to eat these bugs.
Right.
I get it if I'm starving and out in the wild, they have tremendous protein and I could survive. That's fantastic. I'm not out in the wild.
Right.
I do not have to eat this.
I'm not starving to death.
I don't want it. I don't want bugs, period. And there was something else you mentioned. Let me think for just 1 second. I think bugs, brains.
Yeah, fish.
I'm not into brains. Oh, like I love fish. I don't mind if there's a head. I've ripped the heads off of the shrimp and peeled them up and stuff like that. But and I've had the crab at my favorite place, Swan Oyster Bar in San Francisco. It's phenomenal. But where they take the little crab and they like make a mixture of its like, I guess it's brain and stuff. It's like in there. It's yummy. It's, I liked it. I love crabs though. I'm weird that way. Anyway, I'm like obsessed with crab. Anyway, I had it last night. Okay, really anyway. What the fuck was I saying? Brains, no. Bugs, no. And I worked with this lady who, and I totally get it. She would make soup with fish eyes. So the whole purpose of it was you use the whole fish. And I totally get that. But I am, again, is the eye that I'm going to eat so blow my mind good that it's worth it. No, it's not. It's not going to be blow my mind. She was like, when you eat it and when you eat them, they pop. Okay. Oh, there's no way. It must burst with the most amazing flavor that I can't think of anything better for me to eat that. I just don't have to. That's the thing. I don't knock people who eat it. That's great. Yeah. But I don't have to eat it.
Yeah. Right? I'm just not that adventurous. That's
over the limit for me.
I'm like, you know what? Give me some steak. Okay. Mm-hmm. I'll take some potatoes. I'll take some broccoli.
Broccolini.
That's what I like. Yeah.
I don't want tongue.
That's fine. Tongue? Oh God. Yeah. I don't know if I could ever eat that. I feel like there's no way for tongue to not look like tongue. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. And the texture is tonguey. I've heard it's not bad, but it's not great. So I don't have to eat the tongue, right? I could eat whatever I want. I'm lucky enough to be able to do that. Or, within reason, I can just have some chicken. Like, I don't have to have the tongue.
Right.
And I'm super glad you're using the whole animal. If you are eating an animal and you're using all of it, that's fantastic. I choose not to unless I'm starving.
Yeah. Yeah. Or unless somebody's like you're saying, this is the best thing you're ever going to eat, you're ever going to put in your mouth. Mm-hmm. Like, you're going to regret it if you walk away and you don't eat this thing. That's what I will get peer pressured into. Okay, I'll try it.
Yeah, I want to know if it's really that good. I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. I had a friend who went overseas, and one of the delicacies was unborn baby birds. So they were all in, like, if you're in an embryo, right? You're all in like the little, what is that called? If you guys are watching YouTube, you can see me like doing this little fetal position. Yeah. The whole bird. And when you eat it, like its beak, its bones, they all crunch in your mouth. And it's like an appetizer. Here's the thing. It might be good. I can't imagine. First of all, texture is a big thing for me.
Yeah.
So I can't imagine that's going to be good to me at all. And I doubt the flavor is so crazy good. Just because you can eat it maybe doesn't mean that you should unless you have to, right? You don't have to eat a tarantula. In some places you do. That's, you get protein from grilling tarantulas and eating them, but I don't. Thank God.
Yeah, there's a big cultural difference. It's like what you're, raised to eat, but I just, the texture thing, again, if I know that I'm eating an animal, like, I can't do it. It needs to be so far removed, which is probably a very ridiculously privileged thing to say. Like, all the stuff I've ever eaten.
But it's how we grew up.
Right? Yeah, is so far from the actual animal that it is that you can't even tell. And that is how I like it. Okay. Yeah. I don't know if I can.
Even when we have calamari. Exactly. We have calamari. I'm cool with the little circles. My oldest, she pops that whole little octopus with its curly legs, the whole thing into her mouth. I haven't done that yet because I see it. It's a little octopus.
I can literally see the little animal that is. Yeah.
This is a circle of fish, and I'm fine with that. But the octopus, no. All right, guys. Okay. We made our points there, I think. Yeah.
This is stressing me out. I don't know.
Yeah. I have something interesting here. So in the beginning of the film, the customers are led to the restaurant by Elsa and a few goats, right? A few goats and Elsa lead them. A Judas goat is a goat used to keep cattle and other livestock calm while they're being led onto trucks and into slaughterhouses. Ooh. This is a hint that the diners are cattle being led to their slaughter.
Interesting.
Yeah, I like that.
That's good.
I also liked there are 12 dining guests, including the mom, just like how many there were apostles at the last dinner.
Did not pick up on that either.
And this little piece, Tyler mentions at the beginning of the film that smoking ruins your palate and you cannot properly taste the food. Later, during the men's folly course, Lillian is seen smoking on her cigarette with Margot. This shows, albeit indirectly, that she is not a proper good food critic, as her palate would have not been clean and thus could have reviewed other restaurants poorly and unfairly. Another reasoning for her invitation to the menu.
Interesting.
Yeah. I did not catch that.
No. I don't know also if that makes... She was in a very different situation by that point. They know that they're in a bad spot, and I think that could cause you to stress.
That's
smoke.
true. Maybe she didn't smoke before.
Yeah.
But now knowing.
She was in a fuck it. I mean, I think she even says that later when they like go to drink some more. She's like, fuck it. Like pours the wine out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I have one more thing.
That whole scene.
Oh, go ahead.
Sorry.
No, let's talk about this.
That whole scene was very interesting to me, and I like how they brought in the element of these other sous chefs that had like ideas. So it wasn't just him, you know, where they talked to her later and she's like, oh no, that was my idea. She's like, no, I'm the one who pitched Everybody Dies, and I'm really proud of it. I liked that. Yeah,
she was crying because they were saying how much they loved her food, because she is passionate about what she does.
Yeah.
But she also pitched Everyone Dying because of how passionate she is. So, yeah. Lillian criticized. I loved this, and so did Steve. We talked about this a lot. I loved how they kept serving Lillian the broken emulsion. It was bigger bowls of broken emulsion. So I have a little bit about that. Lillian criticizes the breadless bread plate for containing a broken emulsion. An emulsion is a mixture of immiscible substances. In cookery, it usually means oil and water with an emulsifier, a substance that allows them to mix, such as egg yolk. A broken emulsion is one which the oil and water have separated again. It's possible that Slowick deliberately served it to Lillian broken so as to hint to the separation between haves and have-nots that would come later in the evening.
Interesting.
I didn't catch that. I thought she was so obnoxious and she mentioned that so then just to keep fucking with her, or actually to let her know, I heard you.
Yeah.
He kept serving her this broken emulsion.
Yeah, I thought that too.
Yeah.
It was like fuck you, I heard you.
Yeah. I loved how they were walking around while people just, mocked it or complained about it. And I mean, it's just so rude. That's the culture we live in. Like you even see on social media, something presents something and there's going to be good comments. And there's going to be a bunch of assholes hating it. Not that you're an asshole if you don't like it, but it's almost like trolls, like trying to bring the negativity, not a constructive, I didn't really like this because, but more of a hateful thing. And I just really like that.
I really liked how she kept coming around like, do you need help finding your seat? That was killing me. I laughed every fucking time.
So Steve told me, because, the Stabbies Awards and trying to organize things, he said to him, Hong Chow as Elsa was his absolute favorite character.
I loved her. I also thought about swapping another thing, but I left it because I was like, I'm changing enough as it is. But I was like, yeah, this person was amazing.
She was so good.
Yeah.
And it was I just loved, there's something I love about that strong, quiet craziness. Just like Gus in Breaking Bad. It's more scary to me. It's scary when someone's kind of losing it because they're unpredictable, but more scary when it's controlled and concise and you can't rattle them.
Yeah.
That's terrifying.
Yeah,
you can't rattle them. Her
really
and the chef.
Measured. Yeah.
Yeah. Her and chef.
Yeah.
This one piece I wanted to share because I thought it was funny, but I don't know really where to fit it in. So I'm just going to share it. John Leguizamo's character, the movie star, is officially called George Diaz, but he is simply created as movie star. That's how he's credited. Leguizamo based his character on the washed-up actor's action star Steven Seagal, whom he called a horrible human due to a particularly bad experience while working with Seagal on Executive Decision. The multiple references to Diaz playing a cook in one of his movies may be a reference to Under Siege, where Seagal plays a cook. So I mentioned that Steve loved that. And he was like, oh, yeah, a lot of people don't like Steven Seagal. He's like really, they say he's really a jerk. So anybody who loved that, I added that in there for you.
That's good.
Yeah.
I wish I knew more about that.
Yeah. I just thought it was funny he took it from a real actor.
Yeah.
You know, and
a real personal experience.
Yeah, a real personal experience. I'll put Steven Seagal was like, fuck you, man. Oh, gosh. Is there anything else? I'm trying to think if there's anything else you want to share. I went through all my notes. There was not a lot of trivia.
Yeah. It's always hard to take notes in the theater. I mean, like, the one thing that I want to just also say is that there's so many funny fucking moments. I just didn't write any of them down because it's hard when you're watching in the theater. But it's so good, and it made me laugh so much. This is definitely something I'd like to rewatch because I kept picking up on moments that other people were saying stuff in the background, and I couldn't catch it without subtitles on. But I was like, I know I'm missing like at least 6 jokes in this movie because I cannot make sense of what the people in the background are saying. Yes,
I think this was a beautifully timed and orchestrated dark comedy.
Yeah.
Dark horror comedy. We've talked about that before, where the jokes just don't land right. I thought this was impeccable. I thought it was perfect how everything landed. Just everything. It was really, really well done. I enjoyed this experience so much. Yes. I highly recommend you watch this movie. And I hope that you loved it as much as I did because it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, and I feel like it was a good theater movie too. Like if you're able to see it in theaters, you should definitely do it.
Yeah, go have a date night or a single night, a date with yourself, whatever, just go.
Yeah.
Go watch this movie. It was so much fun.
Yeah.
The performances were so good.
Very good. Yeah.
Oh my God. All of them. I can't think of anybody that I was like, that's questionable. I loved them all.
Yeah.
Is there anybody that you thought, I don't know if I believe that?
No, I don't think so. Nope.
Okay.
No.
Are we ready to rock and roll and review this movie?
Let's do it.
All right. So then let's do it. Tawny, what is your score for this movie?
Okay, I think I'm going to give this a 3.85.
Nice. All right.
I felt like I couldn't go as high as like Barbarian or Speak No Evil, which I gave 4s to this year. Both we reviewed this year and our 2022 movies. I really liked this. I just don't know if I liked it as much as those for, I don't know, other specific reasons that I liked those movies. This was great. I really, like, honestly don't have a lot of qualms. I just don't know if I don't know. I just, you know how it's like, it's in your heart, you know?
Yeah, it's in your heart.
I just don't know that I liked it more than that. But I liked it more than like my 3.75s, you know, like I gave 7 a 3.75 is maybe a little contentious, or The Witch, which I like. But again, I think I liked this more than those. So that's where I landed.
All right.
Okay, how about you?
My score is 4.85.
Oh, shit. Okay.
That's how much I love this movie. So when
it's a whole point higher.
That's when I was thinking about what did I like it more or less than Nope?
Nope. Yeah. Okay.
So I was trying to remember because I saw Nope a long time ago.
Yeah.
So I was trying to remember all the movie and the things I liked about it. I didn't like it less than Nope. It was either did I like it as much or more than Nope. So I think I'll leave it at I liked it just as much as Nope, just to be safe. For me, I was a little bit the opposite. I definitely, because it's my jam, liked Caveat and The Witch more than this movie. It's just, it's not because of anything. It's just different. I'm into that disturbing atmospheric movie. That's just my jam. But yeah, I fucking loved this movie. And I think it's one of my favorite, if not my favorite of 2022.
Okay. I think this is definitely, I'd say this is in my top 10 for sure.
Oh, nice.
Of 2022 movies.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to rewrite them now that after I talked with Michael and Aubrey, it's like my top 10 is totally changed now, I feel like. But yeah, this would make it for sure. It was great. But yeah, I agree. Like when I think of the experience of watching it, it was fun and it was tense, but I wasn't like jumping out of my seat kind of like I was at Nope, Barbarian, or like even Haunt. You know, that's not a 2022 movie, but like I feel like, you know, I'm like the level of excitement that those movies gave me is higher than this. So, yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, I can see that. I think it was just, for me, enjoyment on a different level. I just walked away going, God, I'm so fucking happy I watched that movie.
It was great.
That was fun. That was crazy. I loved it.
You know what's cool? I don't know if this is your, if your movies in theaters look like our list. I'm sure it's close because we review a lot of these movies, right? But I was like, I got an email from Fandango, who usually I buy our tickets ahead of time through them. And I got an email, like a recap email at the end of the year. And it was like, here's all the movies that you went to go see in theaters. And I was like, that's cool. So we went to see X, Nope, Barbarian, Everything Everywhere All at Once, which I think is one of the best movies of 2022. It's not a horror, but it was incredible. Loved that movie. And it was such a good theater movie. And now this, The Menu. And I'm like, we've literally seen, the only movies we've seen this year are fucking dope, like, theater movies. I don't think we've seen any bad ones in the theater, which is awesome. That's how I like it.
Good time spent in the movie. Absolutely. Yes. The only one I haven't seen is the Everything Everywhere All at Once, but I wanted to, but I wasn't able to. But all the other ones are the ones that I saw as well. Yeah. The only other different one was, and this was totally Steve wanted to go see it, and I ended up loving it, was Top Gun.
So
we went to that. Minus like, Buzz Lightyear and Minions and
kids movies,
all of those kids things, but for
family
me,
movies.
Yeah, for me, those were all the ones that I picked too.
Yeah, it was a good year.
It's a really good year.
Yeah,
I hope next year is just as good as, if not better.
Me too.
Gosh, so fun. All right, everybody, thank you for listening with us. We'd love for you to go watch this movie and then let us know on any of our social media outlets what you think. Our next episode is, we don't know yet because it's going to be a Patreon pick. We did put in your favorite holiday horror movie or your favorite 2022 horror movie. So we doubled up on the theme to get a lot of different options there. So please head over to our Instagram. You have, maybe never mind. You might not have any time left because we might be pulling those already when this goes. So hopefully you have done it already because we love suggestions.
And if you haven't, keep an eye out for next time.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's great. Thank you, Tawny. If you haven't, if you missed it this month, that's okay. There's next month. Please, please, please let us know. We love suggestions. So you go to our Instagram. Our two main hubs would be Instagram is our main hub at 2 Chicks and a Horror Flick. You can also go to 2chicksandahorrorflick.com. Either of those places will lead you out to any social media outlet you prefer. So whatever it is that you love, if you're a TikToker like Tawny, then go over there, or whatever you prefer. Also, you can buy merch. We have links to buy merch and it's super cool. I own every piece. And you can also join our free horror Discord community where you can chat directly with us and other way more awesome than us horror lovers that are in there. They're chatting, we're connecting, and it's so much fun. And what else, Tawny?
You can support the show by going to our Patreon or giving us a like, review, and subscribe on whatever podcatcher you're listening to us on. But that's it. So we'll see you next week. We're almost to the end of the year. And we're going to do a year in review, so be on the lookout for that as well. And we hope you have such a good night. No nightmares.